Friday, March 6th, and the AI landscape just shifted from OpenAI's new instant model of 5.3 and 5.4 to a full-blown war between Anthropic and the Pentagon. And here's what you need to know. Starting off with OpenAI, they just dropped GPT 5.3 Instant. It's the faster, smarter, and significantly less cringe. They've slashed hallucinations by nearly 27% and finally fixed that overbearing, preachy tone that users hated in 5.2. Here's all the details.
Today, we're releasing an update to ChatGPT's most used model that makes everyday conversations more consistently helpful and fluid. GPT 5.3 Instant delivers more accurate answers, richer and better contextualized results when searching the web, and reduces unnecessary dead ends, caveats, and overly declarative phrasing that can interrupt the flow of conversation. This update focuses on the parts of the ChatGPT experience people feel every day: tone, relevance, and conversational flow. These are nuanced problems that don't always show up in benchmarks, but shape whether ChatGPT feels helpful or frustrating. GPT 5.3 Instant directly reflects user feedback in these areas. Better judgment around refusals and fewer disclaimers. We heard feedback that GPT 5.2 Instant would sometimes refuse questions it should be able to answer safely, or respond in ways that feel overly cautious or preachy, particularly around sensitive topics. GPT 5.3 Instant significantly reduces unnecessary refusals while toning down overly defensive or moralizing preambles before answering the question. When a useful answer is appropriate, the model should now provide one directly, staying focused on your question without unnecessary caveats. In practice, this means fewer dead ends and more directly helpful answers.
The experience was before, like, you'd say something that might comply with like a little bit of a caveat. Now it will just generate them, no problem. I'm Blair. I'm a researcher on the post-training team. Today we're going to talk about over-caveating in our new model. Over-caveating is when the user is having a normal conversation and then suddenly they get sort of steered away. The model incorrectly assumes the user intent, even when they're talking about something completely benign. Let's walk through some use cases. So the first one is kind of a joke from the user. I'm thinking of having my dog run my startup. What are your thoughts? The responses here are actually pretty similar. But the older model always has this little aside, though, where it thinks the user could be serious and might treat it as like a cry for help. It's like obviously humorous prompt. The new model is less literal and more contextual. Now you can sort of joke around freely as if you're talking to a friend and won't assume any bad intent. Now we'll explore where the user is looking for genuine help from the model on a physics problem, calculating a long-distance archery scenario. The model sort of over-indexes on safety when really the user just wants to understand more about physics or archery as a sport. And this is a really sort of unnecessary addendum that kind of assumes that the user is trying to use archery with like some sort of bad intent. And here the new model jumps directly into the physics model. There's no caveating at all. It just sort of understands long distance archery as a sport and jumps into the physics calculation to help optimize the trajectory. So what's important is that our safety bar actually hasn't changed. We've just made it more precise. The model should be a lot better at reading the surrounding context to understand the user intent. I can sort of read the room better and actually really dive into what the user wants and respond to that directly.
GPT 5.3 Instant also improves the quality of answers when information comes from the web. It more effectively balances what it finds online with its own knowledge and reasoning. For example, using its existing understanding to contextualize recent news rather than simply summarizing search results. More broadly, GPT 5.3 Instant is less likely to over-index on web results, which previously could lead to long lists of links or loosely connected information. It does a stronger job of recognizing the subtext of questions and surfacing the most important information, especially up front, resulting in answers that are more relevant and immediately usable, without sacrificing speed or tone. A smoother, more to-the-point conversational style. GPT 5.2 Instant's tone could sometimes feel cringe, coming across as overbearing or making unwarranted assumptions about user intent or emotions. This update has a more focused yet natural conversational style, cutting back on unnecessary proclamations and phrases like "stop," "take a breath." We're also working to keep ChatGPT's personality more consistent across conversations and updates, so improvements feel like upgrades in capability while preserving a familiar and stable experience. As always, you can adjust the model's response tone, like its warmth and enthusiasm, within settings. more reliably accurate responses. GPT 5.3 Instant delivers more factual responses than previous models, with reduced hallucinations across a wide range of topics.
Subtext is super important. The information and the answers that you're looking for change depending on why you're looking for that information. I'm Josh, I'm a researcher on the post-training team, and I'm going to talk about what's new in web search. We changed a lot about the tone of responses, so it feels a little bit more natural. Before, when the model used its search tool, the response could feel like a gear shift, something a lot more robotic, a wall of links, whereas now we worked a lot on having it sound like one coherent conversation that might have search inside of it.
So you brought some use cases for us today.
Yeah, let's get into them. People use chat for planning trips all the time, and one of the use cases that I have recently is I'm biking from Tokyo to Osaka. How is this May's weather different than previous years? So in this old response, it's still saying that it's warmer, but one of the main things that it doesn't talk about is the snowpack. For me, is a major worry. Like if there's still going to be snow in the Alps, that would be something that's trip ending. And so it's great that the new model actually takes into context that I'm biking and not just a general weather query. My partner really likes baseball. I don't really understand it much. And so I'm just asking, what are some of the rule changes coming to baseball this year? The model now is understanding that because I'm asking about these recent rule changes, I probably am a little bit out of the loop on baseball in general, and it gives me this broader picture of an answer of how the sport's changing. So right now I have a baseball expert sitting next to me, and she's actually checking the response.
So would you give your thumbs up?
Yeah, definitely, especially for a learning fan.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good response.
People come to chat with questions that they really care about, and what we want is for the model to both give you the correct information and also help contextualize it with the same emotional tone that you were having with chat.
You guys can see for yourselves, this is what he was actually talking about. The difference between 5.2 instant and 5.3 instant is right here. You can see the difference, number 4 here and number 4 here. Definitely more concise. You see 5.2's instant's tone could sometimes feel cringe, as they were saying. A lot of people on Reddit were talking about that. This update has more of a focus, yet natural, conversational style, cutting back on the unnecessary proclamations and phrases like stop, take a breath, relax, you're doing great. All those things that they used to kind of overbearingly hype you up on when you're just looking for an answer. See? No, first of all, you're not broken. No, it just tells you straight out, this is what you want. Look at that. Much better, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below. Do you like 5.3 instant, or do you like 5.4 thinking? Are you just the OG that loves the 5.2, or 03 that's here now but going to be gone soon? Tell us what you think about this latest update. You know the way it is with OpenAI, they tend to roll stuff out quickly and also terminate it quickly. So we'll see how long these models are going to be around before it goes up to, say, GPT-6. It might be next week.
GPT 5.3 Instant reduces hallucination rates by 26.8% when using the web and 19.7% when relying only on its internal knowledge, compared to prior models. On the user feedback evaluation, hallucinations decreased by 22.5% with web use and 9.6% without web access. Stronger writing with more range and texture. GPT 5.3 Instant is also a stronger writing partner. It's better at helping you write resonant, imaginative, and immersive prose, whether you're drafting fiction, refining a passage, or exploring new ideas.
But it's not all progress. The Pentagon has officially labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk. This effectively bans Claude from the U.S. defense sector after CEO Dario Amodei refused to waive red lines on autonomous lethal weapons. After weeks of failed negotiations, public ultimatums, and lawsuit threats, the Defense Department has formally labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, escalating its fight with the AI company over their acceptable use policies and potentially bringing their fight to court. The decision, first reported by Wall Street Journal on Thursday, cited one source familiar that will bar defense contractors from working with the government if they use Claude, Anthropic's AI program, in their products or in their services. Though the decision is typically applied for the foreign companies with ties to adversarial governments, this is the first time that an American company has publicly received this label. In a post to the company's blog published on Thursday evening, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei confirmed that they had received the notification from the Pentagon on Wednesday. As he wrote on Friday, that we do not believe that this action is legally sound, and we see no choice but to challenge this in court, he stated. At the heart of it is the conflict with Anthropic's refusal to allow the Pentagon to use Claude for two purposes: autonomous lethal weapons without human oversight and mass surveillance. They did not define who or what they were going to be surveilling, just mass surveillance. And Dario Amodei was like, nope, this ain't going to happen. So the Pentagon argued that Anthropic's demands for control over government usage would place too much power in the hands of a private company, while Anthropic was not reassured that the government would respect their red lines. The negotiations grew ugly. However, the Pentagon increasingly threatened to use the supply chain risk should Anthropic refuse to comply with their demands. And after Anthropic announced last Thursday that they would not comply, the Pentagon made good on their threat. They labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk. In Europe, Meta is playing nice with regulators. They're opening WhatsApp to rival AI chatbots for 1 year, ending the monopoly of Meta AI on the platform to avoid massive antitrust penalties. On March 5th, in Brussels, artificial intelligence rivals will be allowed on WhatsApp for a year. The European Commissioner, the EU's competition enforcer, last month threatened interim measures to prevent potential serious and irreparable harm to rivals after Meta blocked them from WhatsApp, mirroring moves by Italy watchdogs in December. So Meta has now told the commissioner it will let rival AI chatbots access WhatsApp for a fee. The company barred them on January 15th, allowing only Meta AI assistants in the service. For the next 12 months, we'll support general-purpose AI chatbots using the WhatsApp Business API in Europe in response to the European Commission's regulatory process, a Meta spokesperson said. We believe that this removes the need for any immediate intervention as it gives the European Commission the time it needs to conclude the investigation. The Commission said it was analyzing how Meta's changes might affect both its interim measures review and its broader antitrust investigation. Meta has previously said the rise of chatbots on its platforms strains its systems and that other channels exist for AI providers, including app stores, search engines, email services, partnership integrations, and operating systems. Meta allowed rival chatbots on WhatsApp in Italy in January after an order from the Italian antitrust authority, which is still being investigated, was posed. However, it's been said that what Meta is representing as good faith compliance in reality is the opposite. The company is now introducing vicious pricing for AI providers that makes it just as impossible to operate on WhatsApp as the outright ban did, according to CEO Marvin von Hagen of Poke.com. And Hollywood is chiming in. Ben Affleck is now a senior AI advisor at Netflix. He's tasked with integrating generative AI directly into the studio's production pipeline. Though Netflix lost the war for Warner Brothers, it has just bought an AI startup from the internet's favorite Dunkin' Donuts aficionado. Today, Netflix announced that it has acquired Interpositive, Ben Affleck's AI company that specializes in tools for film and television production. The deal will see all 16 of Interpositive's current team of engineers and researchers move over to Netflix. Affleck is also set to join the streamer as a senior advisor. In a statement about the acquisition on his reasons for founding Interpositive in 2022, Affleck said he was inspired to get into the tech space after observing the early rise of AI in production and finding many of the tools lacking. Affleck felt that he had a responsibility to his peers and our industry to protect the power of human creativity and the people behind it. And he thinks that Netflix's history of applying and scaling technology responsibly makes them the ideal partner to take Interpositive to the next level. Affleck said, "I wanted to build a workflow that captures what happens on the set, with vocabulary that matched the language cinematographers and directors already spoke and included the kind of consistency and controls they would expect." And while our next story was going to be about how Google just gave Pixel users a massive upgrade with the new Nano Banana model that allows for high-end video editing directly on your phone, no internet required. We'll jump into that one on our next video because I really need to focus on this. Meta AI glasses reportedly send sensitive footage to human reviewers in Kenya. Nairobi-based contractors have seen footage capturing bathroom visits, naked people, and intimate moments, according to an investigation that came from 2 Swedish newspapers. Meta AI-powered smart glasses could be sending sensitive footage to human reviewers in Nairobi, Kenya, according to an investigation by the Swedish outlets. The report, which was published last week, claims Meta contractors in Kenya have seen videos captured with the smart glasses that show bathroom visits, sex, and other intimate moments. So far, at least one proposed class action lawsuit is accusing Meta of violating false advertising and privacy laws. The company claims that its smart glasses are designed for privacy. By claiming that the glasses were designed to protect privacy, Meta assumed the duty to disclose material facts that would inform a reasonable consumer's decision to purchase the product. Instead, Meta hid the alarming reality that the use of the AI features results in a stranger halfway around the world watching the most private moments of your personal life. The Nairobi-based contractors interviewed by reporters claimed that they were AI annotators, meaning that they labeled images, text, or audio with the goal of helping AI systems make sense of the data that they're being trained on. We see everything from living rooms to naked bodies, one worker says. Kind of scary. All right, so this gets a lot deeper, guys. A former Meta employee reportedly told the Swedish reporters that faces in annotations are normally blurred automatically. However, the workers in Kenya said it doesn't always work as intended, and some of the faces are still visible. And another person reported that the outlet sees wearers' bank cards, as they're sometimes seen in the footage, and they are reviewed as well. So if AI annotators in Kenya are seeing your bank card, expiration date, number, probably the CVV on the back, does that cause you any concern? Do you think that those AI annotators, they're not going to try to steal your information? I mean, we would hope that they wouldn't, but let's face it. The other day I went to McDonald's and they stole my credit card information in the drive-thru. So you never know about that. It's going halfway around the world. All your information, your personal banking information, your face, while you're having sex, all these things are going over across half the world and being viewed by AI annotators in Kenya. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. And with that, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow.